for data validation, try to give this format. But if you want to choose the other format, ensure that you change the format first and then you do the data entry for the data validation. All right, because if you choose the wrong format in the data validation, it will give you some error, right? So that was all about the data entry with respect to date and time. I wanted to ensure that people are clear with that. I suppose it's very easy. You guys can practice the other available options as well. We have greater than, between, not between, equal to, less than, equal to, and the other options. So please try that and let me go further with the other commands. So today I'm going to focus more on the custom command as well. Custom option in the Excel. Custom is something, as I already told you, that this will allow you to have customized formulas in the custom formula bar, which otherwise, you can't very easily do through the data validation technique. Like for example, you have to ensure that you want to write in the current year's number, or you want to write some other format. Let me ask, so far, am I clear? Or you want to ensure that the column has only the text or only the alphabet, data. So that way you can define that particular formula in the custom command. So I hope I'm clear to everybody. So I'm going to go with the Excel sheet back. So I will select the column again. Okay, before I go further, I just wanted to tell you one more thing that, earlier one option is that for data validation, there are two ways of doing it. See, one way is that you haven't started doing the data entry, right? And, you just want to check whether the data entry that is already there in the file that you got from any other source, whether that file is having the right data or not. Even that can be checked through the data validation. So it does not mean that for data validation you will always have a blank file and you will always have a blank sheet like this, and you start from the scratch, starting the column selection and then going to the data validation. It may at times happen that you already have some data in the sheet and you get this data after some time, and then you have to enter some data in that. And then as a third party or as a third person, when you're entering a data, it just strikes your mind that let me just validate the data which I already got from some other source. So you can do that also. For example, I have written some data which supposedly I have got from some other source. So I select this particular column as I was doing that in my earlier cases. I go to the data validation option. I will define this maybe for the text length, and I say that it has to be equal to 3, and I say okay. So when I say okay, you will notice that there and then it will not do anything to the already entered data. But when I enter data further, it should give me the error. But if I select this, and if I select this data under data validation, circle invalid data, it should highlight the data which is not matching with the criteria. So as you can see, all the words which are having only 3 letters, they are not circled. But the ones which are having more text, maybe more than 3, as per the criteria, they will be circled. So that also you can do, just in case you have got some data from somewhere, and you want to ensure that the data that you're going to enter now should be free from any error. So that also you can do through the data validation. So if I do that one more time and I say like this, so you will actually see the difference of having the data first and then applying validation, and vice versa. For the three, for the first column, I did for, see, let me define one more thing over here. So if I go to data validation, and I want to redefine my, say, I supposingly you don't have any alerts, because over here you have alerts very easily, right? So in this column, particular column, what I've done, I have unticked the error alert and the input alert. It will take some time to come back, so it has come back. There is no alert over here. And now I again want to do the same thing. I want to highlight the data which is invalid. That is the data which is not matching the criteria set by me when I was entering the data in column B. I can do that also by selecting this command of circling invalid data. And as you can see for yourself that the first word, it is matching with the three-letter option in the criteria, and all other words have been circled. So I can highlight that also through this option, just in case, maybe by mistake or otherwise, you don't select that these boxes. See, they are unticked. And they are ticked by default, but just in case if somebody has unticked them, you have another trick to find out if there is any error in the data that you have entered. All right, you can do that also, and this can be done for dates, for time, and for any other data that you're entering.